start underhand. We're going to come up into the pinwheel, then go into split time, so the left one is in front of the right one. And then let's try and do an extension left then right, back to small. And then extend left then right, then back to small. And then extend left then right and back to small. And then extend left then right, back to small. And then we're going to come down and overhand on the right hand side. And then sweep back into underhand. And then we're going to stall the right hand. So the right is overhand and the left hand is underhand. You should be in opposite direction now. Then we'll stall the left hand. And now both poi should be in overhand. And then sweep back. And we're going to come halfway turn, come up into the pinwheel. Now we're going to do something new from here. From here, we're going to turn directly into the pinwheel. So instead of coming down here into the circle, what you're going to do is bring your left hand down on the front wall. And as you bring your left hand down on the front wall, cross your right hand over the top of it to enter the weave. So you're in the pinwheel, the left hand comes down, the right hand comes down on top of it. Let's do this in steps. So if we looked at your left hand, you're in the pinwheel. Then when you go into the front position, just lower it down here. And then you would be in the over position of the weave. And the right hand would cross on top of it, which would put it in the under position. Okay, you're here. I want you to come down and you're going to do 2 beats here. Let me show you from this side. I'm in the pinwheel. I will bring my left hand down, which will be on your right side. Okay, so it's down. Then my right hand is going to come over the top of it, which now puts it in the second position where it's underneath, and then I'm entering into the weave from there. So at speed, you're like this, left comes down, right comes on top of it. So put your left hand here like this, and then take your right hand, cross it over as you turn to the left. Keep your left hand on this side and cross the right hand over it while the left hand is on that side. So for this direction, where it's going to counterclockwise, you pull from the left side up and over. And you can come into together time if you're more comfortable with it. You got this one, where you're in the pinwheel, and you come down, cross the right on top. Now, you're in the weave. To get back up to the pinwheel, when the left hand is on top of the right hand, so when you're like this, with the left on top, pull your right hand back behind and bring the left one up to follow. If you looked at it from here, when the left hand is on top, you pull the right one from underneath all the way back behind your head as you turn 90 degrees to go into the pinwheel. So when the left hand is on top, pull the right one back behind the head. Okay, let's try and drill these a couple of times. So you're here in the pinwheel, and then bring it down into the weave, crossing the right over the left. And the idea is you're maintaining the crossed hands to go into it. You can do what you're doing. I mean, it really is a very subtle thing. Most people wouldn't even notice if you came down into circles and then went into the weave. I mean, me wanting you to know the more advanced technique doesn't mean you have to use that. And then to go back up to the pinwheel, when the left is on top, pull the right one back behind your head and come up to pinwheel. And then we'll bring the left one down and cross the right one on top to go back into the weave. And then when the left hand is on top, pull the right one behind as you turn 90 degrees to go back to pinwheel. And then bring your left hand down, cross the right on top, and turn left into overhand weave. And then when the left's on top, turn to the right and come up into the counterclockwise pinwheel. Now we're going to turn to the right to try and go into the underhand weave. So it's the same basic thing, only you bring your right hand down and your left hand comes underneath. So let's just do that part of it. Your right hand is here. Take your left hand from this side, or you could imagine it's in the pinwheel. bring it underneath and cross it to the other side of the body to go into the underhand weave. Okay, now let's try that from the pinwheel. So if you're here in the pinwheel, bring the right one down, cross the left underneath. If you're in the pinwheel, bring the right one down, cross the left underneath. Okay, and then to get it back up, when the right hand is on the left side on the bottom, turn left, bring the left hand to the front, and then bring the right one back behind. Okay, now here's what you've done. You've come from the underhand on this side, turned left to the counterclockwise pinwheel, and then you now, in theory, you should be able to turn left again to the overhand weave, because we just did that a little bit ago. And then you should be able to turn to the right to go back into pinwheel, and turn to the right to go back into the weave in underhand. So your underhand to pinwheel to overhand to pinwheel to underhand. And if I showed you this from the front view, what the audience would see, it would be this. In case you're wondering what it looks like. We have now done working with the counterclockwise pinwheel, the transitions from the counterclockwise pinwheel to the overhand weave and to the underhand weave, and then between the weaves back to the pinwheel. Now what we're going to do is we're going to do the other way. So if you come here to underhand on this side, and then stall your right poi, so that you're in opposite direction with the right overhand, left underhand. Now stall your left poi, and they're both overhand. We did how to enter the pinwheel for counterclockwise, where you go like this. To enter it for clockwise, you start here, and your left hand comes up first, and your right one follows. So your overhand like this. On this side, or you're in the pinwheel, you can come down, you'll be an overhand here. And then we'll sweep back. Yes, and then up again to the pinwheel. Now, we're gonna come from the pinwheel, bring your right hand down, cross your left hand over the top, and come into overhand weave on this side. So it's different because now you're an overhand instead of underhand. And then, when your right hand is on top, turn to the left, pull the left hand back behind your head, and go back into your clockwise pinwheel. So you can bring the right one down and cross the left one on top. And then when the right one's on top, come back into the pinwheel. So here, do this part for me. Take your left hand from overhand here. Now what you're gonna do is you're gonna cross it to the home side and then bring it back behind the head as you turn your body 90 degrees to come up to the pinwheel. So it's here in overhand. You would have your right hand on top, then you would pull your left all the way back and then go into the pinwheel. You'd be here, pull it up into the pinwheel. Now, let's try it from the weave. When the right hand is on top, that means the left will be on that away side. Pull the left hand to the front as you turn and come back behind your head, following with the right hand.